Greetings everyone. Today we're going to explore function notation. We do have a foldable for our notes, but if you are away and do not have it, you'll want to just take notes on your notebook. First, let's define a function. We've talked a little bit about if a graph is a function, and now we're going to look at a function as a rule, meaning an algebraic rule, an equation that we can use. So when we have a function as a rule, it assigns a value to a variable. Now, on the front of your note sheet, we're going to take a look at this particular function, and we're going to identify its parts. So first of all, the letter out front is the name of the function, and that letter can be anything. It could be an M, a Q, a P, Z. The name can be anything, and we need that name because it's going to help us match with the correct function. Now, the piece that is on the other side of the equation, this entire piece is the rule of the function, meaning it's the steps that we take to find our values. The rule can have any operation: multiply, divide, add, subtract, exponents, parentheses, distribution. If you need help with any of those calculations, we want to go back to our previous units videos. The letter inside the parentheses is the variable in the rule. See how I have an X here and I'm saying, hey, there's an X there? They should always be the same. And that entire phrase, this is going to be new for you. We don't say F parenthesis X. We read it as F of X. That's going to take some practice. That's something you're going to use in every math class from now on. Now, the easiest way to talk about functions and calculating using the rule is to think of a machine. Okay, so let's say it says f of 2. So my first machine says, hey, instead of x, let's plug in a 2. Well, where am I going to plug the 2 in? I'm going to plug it into the rule. So the rule says f of x equals 3x plus 4. And do you see what I changed? Instead of x's, I put 2's. Oh, well, that makes it much more reasonable. Now if I take a look, yeah, I can just calculate that. 3 times 2 plus 4 gets me to a nice clean 10. So if I plug in a 2, the input is 2, the output is 10. The x is 2, the y is 10. Let's try it again. This time, we're going to use the x value of -1. If I input -1 into the rule, then my output is calculated as 1. If I plug in -1, my answer is 1. If my input's -1, my output's 1. If my x is -1, my y is 1. If my domain is -1, my range is 1. Remember how we can use those definitions interchangeably. They're synonyms. So for my answers, you'll notice how I wrote them. I wrote, hey, what did I plug in? And what was the result? All right, so let's take a look. We're not going to draw a function machine every time, but what we do need to do is show some algebra work. So the first thing we're going to acknowledge on this first problem is it says f. So which function should I use from my list? F. Make sure you're picking the right one. Then it says 3. So what am I going to plug in for x? 3. So algebraically, I just need to see that you plugged in 3 into the f rule. From there, we're going to calculate and simplify to get a solution. Now, most of the rules are going to be mental math. So I want to see that you could plug it in, and I want to see what the result is. If you need to show any calculation work in the middle, that's up to you. Let's look at the next one. The next one says, hey, use the g function, and instead of x, plug in a 3. Sometimes the calculations are that simple. Let's look at another one. This time it says f function, plug in -2. F, plug in -2. Ooh, be careful. Remember that squared means -2 times -2. What's a negative times a negative? Positive, which leads to our much easier calculation of 4 plus 3. The next one says g function and plug in 0. Easy calculation, right? Now you might be thinking, pretty simple, there's f and g, but what I'm going to be doing is giving you many rules. I might give you 10 rules. You just need to make sure to match the letters correctly. Oh, look at this one. This one shows two functions, but in the end, we're going to add them together. So temporarily, let's treat it like one problem and a different problem. I'm going to call it the green problem and the blue problem. So the green problem says pick the f function and plug in 2. F plug in 2. The blue rule says g plug in 1. G plug in 1. So we're going to calculate the green and the blue functions separately. 2 squared. I'm going to bring down this 1 plus 1. That would get me to a 7. This would get me to a 2. And if I add them together, that is how I got my final answer. Let's try it again. This time be careful. Look what changed. The g function comes first, followed by the f function. Treat it like a separate problem for the time being. All right, so g function says plug in -1. F function says plug in 1. We're going to calculate. -1 plus 1 is 0. 1 plus 3 is 4. 0 plus 4, final answer of 4. Now, for the notation, because this notation is so long, I mean, you could write it all out and then equals 4, but I'm not going to be too picky there. Ooh, look at this one. This is interesting. So we have f of g of 2. Interesting. So when we have these multiple functions plugged into each other, you start with the inside first. Let's just worry about g of 2. All right, so g is here, and I'm going to have g of 2. Simple calculation. If I plug in a 2 into g, I get 3, right? So that f is just sort of hanging out front, right? We haven't even dealt with that. Well, now look at this problem. It says f of 3. Well, that's easier now. We're going to take the f function, and we're going to plug in 3. 3 squared, 9. 9 plus 3, 12. So f of g of 2 is 12. So just make sure on these ones, you do inside first, whatever your answer is, then plug it into the outside. Let's try that one again. This time, let's look inside first. The inside says find f of 0. Okay, well, if I plug in 0, 0 squared is 0, 0 plus 3 is 3. Now that g is just hanging out, so now I'm going to plug in g of 3. Take the g function, plug in 3, 3 plus 1, a nice clean 4. So g of f of 0 is 4. Sometimes, very, very rarely in Algebra 1, but you will see this again in the future, you plug in a different letter. So this one's saying, hey, instead of x, just change all your x's to y. And this one says, hey, instead of x, plug in a w. You can't do anything with it. You're not going to be able to simplify it down a bunch. It just is what it is, different letter. Now, let's talk about actually finding some answers using a graph, okay? So if I look at this function notation, f of 3 equals 5. F of x equals y. What that means is that my x is 3 and my y is 5. Okay, so since f of x equals y, that's the same as saying x equals 3 and y equals 5. See how they match up? So if you're asked to write f of 3 equals 5 as a point, then I would see my x is 3, my y is 5. So let's actually apply this to a graph. So this first one says, hey, if x is negative 5, what's the y value? Okay, well, let me look at my graph. When x is negative 5, it looks like the y value is 2. See how I've got that coordinate value negative 5, 2? So if it helps, if you want to do a little side work, you can always write out little points, right? When x is 3, what's y? It's just another way to write it. So if you don't like it, looking at it that way, write it as a point for the time being. All right, let's use some colors. When x is 3, okay, when x is 3, I see I exist right here. Then my y value is 3. All right, let's look at the next one. When x is negative 8, when x is negative 8, x negative 8, wait a second, there's no graph. So guess what? I don't exist there. So I'm open. You could say none. You could say doesn't exist. You could say undefined. I'm open. There's nothing that exists there. Well, look at these next 3. Look at how they're written. I'm going to change these little points here because it says, hey, what's x if the answer is y? So if I don't know x, but I know y is 8, so that's saying, hey, we know the y values and we need to find the x values. All right, let's try this out. So if y is 8, here's the y-axis, here's 8. Oh, I exist right here. When y is 8, x is 5. All right, let's try it again. This time, it says when y is negative 7. Okay, y-axis, negative 7. Oh, it's right there. The dot, when y is negative 7, x is negative 1. X is negative 1. Let's try one more. When y is negative 5. When y is negative 5. Whoa, that's kind of weird. Look at this. I have a graph here and here. So x is 0 and x is negative 2. So I actually have 2 points, right? I have negative 2, negative 5, and I have 0, negative 5, and that's okay. You can have 2 x's. So when you're dealing with this, especially on like a worksheet or a learning check, plot dots, right? Draw on that graph. Write them maybe as coordinate values right on the graph. Maybe that's helpful because that's what you know already. Then go answer the questions. All right, so we've talked about function notation as a rule and function notation on a graph. Make sure, as always, you check Google Classroom to see what your task is today. If you have any questions, let me know. Keep working on this. I know this is a lot of new stuff. And until next time, have a good one.